To me, we have to select two different environments. One is the consumer side and one is the industry side. I believe that the consumer side very quickly adapted to the new technologies, while initiatives like Industry 4.0 or other initiatives for IoT that are now spreading in Europe gives the evidence that industry in total is a bit slower in catching up with new technologies. This is certainly an uneasy time for Europe and our European house, this is clear. But it is important that Europe is constantly monitoring and pushing for a common legislation on these things. Otherwise, member states could go one in one direction, one in the other, and not creating what is the driving force, what has been the driving force in these 60 years, which is a single initiative that is Europe ultimately. Automotive industry is certainly one of the most important employer in Europe. More than 12 million people employed, and also in terms of R&I, more than 44 billion euro annually invested. In average, in one modern car built in Europe, 80% of the value of a car is coming from components. And it is normal that, therefore, the suppliers are at the forefront of the technologies, also applied in the US, in China, all over the world, and not only in Europe. Today, to me, has been a sort of milestone, and as such, we have to start from here. All of the European member states signed this declaration, this letter of intent, plus other two important, because they are inside, let's say, Europe as well. And therefore, I take this as a serious sign that Europe wants to legislate in a smart way, in a light, quick and smart way to support industry, and promoting a single European standard for what will be the mobility of the future ultimately. So it is very important. We have at least two dramatically important facts to remember. In Europe, every year, more than 30,000 fatalities occur, and it is certain that a wide application of connected automated driving will collapse this number to a minimum because of safety features that the new technologies are put into our disposal. Then, if you think to pollution, and you connect vehicles to the infrastructure and you better predict what's in front of you and how the traffic jam is going to develop or to be avoided, that is a tremendous help for city planners to avoid traffic jams. In average, in certain cities, people are spending 150 hours per year in traffic jams. Imagine how much waste of time and money we do every year in Europe. That is incredible. I normally make a joke saying that 5.5 thousand years ago the wheel was invented, and the only purpose of the wheel was to make things easier to the mankind. We continue to develop technologies through the ages with a simple idea in mind to have, let's say, to make our life easier. Now we have at our disposal many other tools. It will be silly not to use them to improve again our state, our wealth, our well-being, our work. So I believe we have to embrace fully and quickly these new technologies. Two key principles have to be kept in mind. Learning by doing should be our mantra. We cannot expect to have perfect legislation, perfect infrastructure, perfect everything. We have to start from somewhere, even in an imperfect world like today, but we have to start. It is comforting me the fact that even the best cars and the most automated cars now built in China and in the US are using European technology. So this is already a good sign that if we continue to foster our technologies, to foster education of newly skilled employees and technicians able to understand and implement these new technologies, number one, we could continue to be competitive in Europe. Number two, we could continue to create well-being to our citizens.